Okay, this next part is super important because you've probably heard two different terms floating around, DoS and DDoS. They sound almost the same, but trust me, the difference between them is huge.
So, here's the deal. A standard DoS attack comes from a single source, just one computer. It's like that one person with a megaphone disrupting our cafe. But a distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack, that's a whole other beast. That attack comes from thousands, sometimes millions of computers all at once, controlled by an attacker in what's called a botnet. This makes the attack way more powerful and so much harder to stop.
Which brings us to a really big question. Why? Why would anyone go to all this trouble to launch these kinds of disruptive attacks? What's the motivation?
Well, the reasons can vary a lot. Sometimes it's about disrupting a competitor's business, or it's straight up extortion, pay us a ransom and we'll stop. Other times it's just about damaging a company's reputation. Or, and this is a sneaky one, it can be a giant smokescreen. For example, back in 2016, there was a massive attack on a company called Dyn. It was used as a huge distraction for security teams while other hacks were going on, and in the process, it took down massive sites like Twitter, Netflix, and Reddit.
Now, I know this all sounds pretty scary, but here's the good news. There are absolutely ways to fight back. So let's talk about how companies and organizations can build a really solid defense against these kinds of attacks.
Protection is really all about having multiple layers of defense. It starts with things like firewalls, which basically act like a bouncer at the door, filtering out the bad traffic. Then there's something called rate limiting, which sets a speed limit on how many requests can come in at once. Big organizations also use content delivery networks, or CDNs. These are global networks of servers that can absorb and spread out the attack traffic, so no single point gets totally overwhelmed. And of course, constantly monitoring traffic for weird patterns and using scalable cloud services are key to being able to handle those sudden surges.
So, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this simple definition. At its core, a denial of service attack is just an attempt to knock a service offline by drowning it in a flood of traffic. Plain and simple.
And that really leaves us all with a bigger question to think about, doesn't it? In a world that's getting more and more connected every single day, figuring out how we defend these shared digital spaces we all rely on, well, that's not just a technical challenge. It's a crucial one for all of us.
If this breakdown helped you connect the dots on what DoS attacks are all about, make sure to follow our channel. We've got more explainers just like this one coming your way.
And for even more great content and resources, be sure to swing by wecyberyou.com. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.